This week on What the Heck, we check in with Tyler, talk about the North Pole, and test our knowledge of Christmas movies with a game of Jeopardy. Spike the eggnog, kick your feet up, and enjoy the show. Good evening and welcome to episode 7 of season 2 of What the Heck. I'm Colin Frederick with Jake Reese and Tyler Heck. Gentlemen, how you doing?
Great. Christmas is just a week away,
Gosh,
and I
we're
am
nearly there.
excited.
Yes. Do you hear bells in the background? Like I just hear some jingle bells. Just
I think that's just your CTE.
might be it. It's been a long year.
We had a Christmas luncheon at work today, and I played Christmas music all day, and I had a Christmas tie on and Christmas socks, and it was just awesome.
Did all those Grinches that you work with complain about your Christmas music?
2 of the 4, well, I work with 3 other people, and 2 of the 3, like, can you turn that music down? Do you have to play that all day? So I turn it up, and I get there before them and start it, and I make sure I stay all day and play it all day. So, yes, I do.
What's wrong with them?
I don't know. I
Especially
don't
so
know at
close
all.
to
I hope,
Christmas.
yes, I get it. Like, okay, if you're going to give me sass in October, I'm still going to do it, but, like, I'll accept your sass.
Yeah, I'll turn it down.
But
a little bit.
1 week before Christmas,
Yeah.
I hope you don't get any presents. Or Nicole.
We ate in our conference room even, and I even took my wireless speaker out of my office and into the conference room and, like, set it right next to me. Boom, Christmas music.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I played some at practice tonight.
And the wrestlers loved it.
Good.
Not a
They
single
did
one
not.
asked for them.
What's wrong with them?
They're high school boys.
Wrestlers. Stupid.
I think the managers were okay with it.
They asked me actually to put it on.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So first I was asked to put it on when they were lifting. I was like, sure. I'll put it on. And the girl said, can you play Christmas music? And I was like, you're right. We've got 5 practices until Christmas, 4 practices. We're
Done.
playing Christmas.
It's Christmas time.
Yeah.
For Pete's sake. You better be good, for goodness sake, which sounds like your people are not, so.
Yep.
Too bad.
Cole
for you.
coming their way.
Shape it
More
up.
gifts for us.
Big stuff coming down the pipeline this week. It's a very eventful evening. We got a lot of things to touch on, and not a lot of time.
So much.
And by not a lot of time, I mean however long we want, because
Yeah.
it's our show, and not that many people listen, so it doesn't matter.
And those who listen would listen for hours. If
Yes.
we
Yeah, you
wanted
know,
to.
the real fans.
Yeah.
Yep.
The true hecklers out there.
The truest of the hecklers.
They don't put a time limit on us.
Nah, no timestamp. But anyway, we got some sponsorships. Jake's wife, Kim, who I'm certain is going to listen to this episode just like she listens to all the other ones.
Yes, definitely.
Was that episode 1 that
Yep.
she was like, nah, this sucks?
Yep.
Did you tell her that at the very least the sound quality's better?
I tried to tell her that, yeah, we've really stepped up our game.
It's way better than season 1,
So
episode
much.
1.
Yep.
We've come a long way.
I might be able to get her to listen to this episode
It's
because
worth a
she's a
try.
big Christmas fan too. So the whole
There's a lot of Christmas content.
yeah,
Last week and this week, those would be perfect episodes.
That'd be
to
a
get
good place to
any
jump back
Christmas
in.
fiend hooked on the show.
yep,
Uh-huh.
and a shout out,
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
big
always
time
helps.
shout out. Kim, they're delicious.
best
She
cake
make
pops
Cake
ever.
pops. A lot of moisture.
Super moist.
Just moist. That's what they sounded like.
They're really
They're
good.
gone.
Yeah. Also, one of our probably like top 5 favorite fib. I think I told her once she was number 2.
That's pretty good.
For sure, top 5.
Renee made a plate of Christmas cookies. Not only did she make the Christmas cookies, she drove all the way from Fibland and met me and Sharon to deliver them.
That's dedication.
That's pretty serious stuff.
That's a loyal follower right
She
there.
might be top 3 fan of the show.
I-
Just for that right there.
I think
That's
so.
true.
Get this plate of cookies to us.
Yeah, because that took some doing.
Those peanut butter balls are to die for.
Yeah. Few things that Jake loves more than balls near and around his mouth.
Yeah.
Peanut
Covered
butter.
in peanut butter.
Hey, any kind.
Made of peanut butter.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
sorry.
Whatever, dude. I was going to see if I could fit a nut butter ball and a cake pop ball in my mouth at the same time, but I didn't do it.
There's still time.
The night's still young, for sure. So those are shout outs. Renee, speaking of Renee, called in. Take it away.
Hello, what the heck crew? It's one of your favorite fibs calling, Renee. I would like to start by saying thank you for the continued entertainment throughout this pandemic. I have truly enjoyed all the laughs, even the laughs that were at me. Secondly, I have really enjoyed my first fantasy football league. I'm a bit competitive, so I'm not pleased I'm in the losers bracket so quickly. Thanks, Jake. But I did have fun. And seriously, though, Jake, I hope you win it all since you knocked me out. And lastly, will finally be my question. In the spirit of Christmas, what are your 3 staple foods that must be at the table for the holiday? Mine would be deviled eggs, an absolute must for me at all holiday events, Italian beef, and any kind of chocolate dessert. Can't wait to hear what you guys like. Have a great Christmas and Happy New Year's.
So, boy, she talked about a lot of stuff there. That's a long message.
I want to tell Renee she's a very gracious loser, and I appreciate the shout out for
I'm-
knocking her out in fantasy football. Boom!
I'm appreciative of her being so gracious because I know how competitive she is.
And now it makes me feel good that I have someone that's rooting for me to win it all.
Yeah, that was kind of bullshit.
No, that's
I-
cool.
No.
Renee,
I
you're the
would
best.
never root for someone who beats me in the playoffs.
No. I
Then
hope
you
that
can
that
say
guy
you
lost.
lost to the champ.
No,
Don't care.
Yeah, I don't care who I lose to. Losing's fucking
If I
dumb.
lose, I want to drag everyone down with me.
That's right.
I'm out.
I hope that whoever beat me
Blow
sprains
up the
their
league.
ankle on the way into the tunnel. So that's dumb, and it
Well.
doesn't feel that good that I'm.
When I win, she'll have a great Christmas. I'll have a great Christmas. It'll just be wonderful all around.
I still don't see. She is getting literally nothing out of you winning.
Not even one thing.
Like, great, she can say, "Oh, I lost to the champ," but there are a lot of people who could also say they beat you,
Right.
and that's better, I think, than losing in the playoffs.
I would agree.
Not that I was one of them, but
You don't know about the playoffs, so you can't talk
Playoffs
about
in
it.
this league.
Playoffs.
I know how to go from 5-1 in 3 weeks, though. That's for sure.
I still haven't ordered the belt, but I'm gonna order it.
You
Who
better.
cares? I'm not getting it.
And it's spelled Reese, R-I-E-S.
I don't know.
Championship.
Didn't Matt lose?
Oh, yeah, he got upset.
Is
As
he
the
s-
2
Is he
seed.
actually
Multiple
upset?
times.
Well, it was stupid that he was the 2 seed anyway. That whole division sucked ass.
Yeah, well, when I'm winning it all, you
who-
can say how bad it
Who
is.
beat
It
him?
sucked
Bologna
ass.
sandwiches?
Bologna sandwich, who I had a one less win and was the 7 seed.
Here.
Oh, yeah, because
Oh yeah. All right. Let's. Well, since we're on it, we'll do our quick fantasy
Yeah.
football thing,
Then we'll
and
get
we'll
back
jump
to her
back to
question.
Renee's question.
Yep.
Okay. Florida man Ben the Robber upset Will the 1 seed, who maybe had his worst game of the entire season.
he's had two terrible
The last 2 weeks,
games.
he's bottomed out.
So Will's done. He's toast. He was 10-3 in the regular season, and then shit the bed when it counted.
That's
Classic.
a
You know,
shame.
it sounds very similar to like the Pittsburgh Steelers season right
It
now.
kind of does. They're on a little bit of a skid.
Yep.
That game ended 121 to 106. Florida man moves on. On the other side of that bracket was Mr. Hex, Moldy Leftovers with the 5 seed, 119 to some hunks cruising chubbies, 171.
That's a big score.
Big score. It was a good week for me.
Yes,
Thought it
it
was going to be
was.
closer than that one.
I did too. Both of those teams were 7-6 going in. One of them seems like they're more fun than the other, and they move on. Show me your TDs. 119 to 108 with Fearless Fibs.
It's a big upset.
It's a big upset.
Not
That's-
as big as Florida man,
That's
but
6/3. And then the bologna sandwiches with the 7 seed over inferior Reese, 139 to 116. Which brings us to the second round. We've got the 8 seed Florida man versus the 4 seed Cruisin' Chubbies, and the 7 versus the 6 in bologna sandwiches and show me your TDs.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I was feeling okay about it, but now I'm losing 2.7 to 0, so I'm toast. So
Yeah,
it's
it's
been a
over.
good season. I might as well hang her up.
Yep.
yep.
So stay tuned. Championship next week. But Renee, 3 things that you have to eat at Christmas time. 1, Christmas cookies.
Are you going to use that as one? Because I feel like that's a given.
That's yeah.
I don't know if that
No, but that's
should
like
be...
when I finish my meal, I'm going to eat Christmas cookies.
Right. But
Okay,
do you,
so that's
do you
your
have
dessert.
To count that as your one?
That's a
Because
dessert.
that's
That's
on my
dessert.
list.
That's
I'd
dessert.
have a different dessert.
I don't
along
usually have
with
another
Christmas
dessert
cookies.
with that. I don't think. Like at Thanksgiving, you for sure have pie.
So are Christmas cookies not out all the time on Christmas to just eat?
Well, they
throughout the
are.
day?
I eat them also as a snack and an appetizer and breakfast.
Sometimes we
but
get
also dessert.
Okay.
I liked what she said about deviled eggs because I love those little suckers.
Yeah, but I think I'm a devil's eggs. Growing up for me was more of a Thanksgiving and an Easter dinner meal. item, not so much Christmas. So
I have a hard time with this because my family and what we do for Christmas changes so much year to year. It's not like Thanksgiving where like we always have this meal. One year for Christmas we're gonna have a big brunch, so then each person got to pick a brunch item, and obviously I picked chippy because I'm not an idiot.
yeah, for sure.
And so then I had that on Christmas once. Does that count? Probably not. That's not like a real Christmassy thing.
No, I wouldn't.
Sometimes we have lasagna. We probably have that fairly often, and my mom makes a killer lasagna. So I'm going to go with lasagna. And then, you know what? I'm going to go with cold leftover ham sandwiches. Like on King's Hawaiian rolls with a little mayo. Maybe, like, if you happen to find some cheese, great. But otherwise, like the ham that we had for lunch.
Yep.
You throw that sucker into a sandwich. Leftover sandwiches, man, are always dynamite.
Especially on those King's Hawaiian rolls. Those
anything
are
on those.
the best rolls
You could serve me like
ever.
a brick on a King's Hawaiian roll, and it would be delicious.
I eat the King's Hawaiian rolls just like plain sometimes.
Of course, if you warm them up and throw a little butter on there,
peanut butter jelly sandwich on a
Dangerous.
King's Hawaiian roll.
anything. I'm into it. All right, so those are my three, I guess.
Tyler, what do you got?
I picked. I'm not sure on my third item yet. My first two are coming from the same meal at my grandparents. Prime rib,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
which I'm real upset we're not getting this year because we're not doing it.
We
So
are
I'm
doing
a
it this
little,
year. We're doing prime rib, like with my immediate family.
Yeah, I that's one thing I'm gonna miss this year, and I would also say cheesy potatoes.
Yep.
But there's like a lot of different variations of cheesy potatoes. So these ones are, if I remember correctly, again, it's been a year,
It's been a while.
and I don't really pay attention all that much because they're just so delicious. But I think it's a mix of like hash browns and the cubes
Dig
together.
that. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm not a big hash brown guy. I don't want to be overpowered with
Well,
hash
and,
browns.
and it's a little different, like a little bit of a mix. And then obviously they're cheesy, but then on top it's like the cornflakes, so it's got some
Oh,
crunch
yep,
to it too.
yep.
I encourage you to also sometime try Rice Krispies in place of cornflakes.
Never had
Somebody
that.
introduced me to that one time, and I was like,
Better than the cornflakes?
I think so.
Wow. I'm gonna have to keep that in mind.
I might have to try that.
Worth a try.
So those would be for sure my top two. My third, man, would I think I gotta go. So I call them Buckeyes. They're essentially a peanut butter ball.
Yep.
But they are chunky peanut butter with a little bit of Rice Krispies in there. And then I believe the chocolate is milk chocolate and dark chocolate mixed together on the
Ooh.
outside. And they are, like, I get them all the time because my grandma will just make them if I ask her to. But at Christmas, like, that's the time that if they're out, I don't care if it's 7 in the morning or I wake up at 1 a.m. Like, I'm gonna go get a Buckeye.
Yep.
I dig that.
So I think, yeah, those are my top three.
Ham definitely is number one. Always love a good Christmas ham, which it's not number two, but ham at the Christmas meal and then turns into those leftover sandwiches.
For
That's why it's
sure.
just like ham had to be number one because it's so versatile.
Very versatile.
Yeah, love it. Number two is probably some garlic mashed potatoes.
Yeah.
They're pretty good. You know, it doesn't sound like, oh, mashed potatoes, oh great, but you get the right amount of butter, maybe a little bit of gravy if gravy's made.
The gravy going to
Plus, you
set
mix
it
it
off.
with the ham a little bit.
Yeah, of course. And if you got gravy and you got it spills onto the ham and the mashed potatoes and
Oh, see.
yeah, just
My mashed potato move is corn. It's better if it's
Ooh.
cream corn, but standard corn's still fine. But
yeah,
I'm always corn on top of potatoes.
interesting. And then three is I don't know. There's so many good Christmas cookies in general that are. It's really hard to, narrow it down. I do like the peanut butter balls. I do like Kim's cake pops are like phenomenal desserts.
Kim's Cake Pops bring all the boys to the yard.
Maybe I don't.
Could that be a business idea?
She was
Kim's cake
approached
pops?
about that by a couple of people, and she said she enjoys doing it when she doesn't have to do it.
Makes sense.
So she's like, I don't think I could do it as a business because then I wouldn't like doing it.
So if I fire up a bakery as one of my 30 side gigs that I've
Yeah.
discussed,
Maybe on a part-time,
Yeah.
like special order, limited, like a special.
every other Saturday.
Sure.
yeah,
something like
that's,
that.
real flexible.
I'm sure you could get her to stop in and whip up a couple batches.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right.
So, yeah, there was just always a plate of Christmas cookies up north where at my grandma's house when we went that I can't even describe them all. It had so many different kinds. I mean, there was literally like 15 kinds of cookies on it. Some of the peanut butter balls, some of like the little, I can't even think of what they're called, with the Hershey's Kiss in them,
Oh, yeah.
but they're
Oh,
peanut
I got some
butter.
of those
A
right
peanut blossom.
Oh, yeah, I didn't even see
Oh,
there.
yeah.
They're hidden. They're hidden. But those are, in case you're finding a common theme here, I'm a big peanut butter guy. So anything with peanut butter in it as a dessert, I'm sold. It's up there. So
Dig that. I did think of an honorable mention. In most years, really up until this year, I guess, we always do like the Frederick Christmas at my grandparents'. And that, I guess, is usually ham, so I shouldn't say that we always mix it up, but like my family, whatever. The one thing that's always been, and it's a weird thing for me to enjoy, but I always look forward to it, is she makes oyster stew. I don't like seafood.
I love seafood, not so much oysters.
I don't. I will always pass on seafood, but oyster stew at Christmas I'll eat. Mostly because it's just like a milky kind of broth, and then like you just suck it up. There's like a few chunks of oyster in there. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because like that was the thing. Like she made it every Christmas, and my grandpa and like my dad and uncles would have a bowl because like that was their thing.
You wanted to be like them.
So then when I was a little kid, when
Yeah.
I like could at first I would just eat like the broth stuff. Just skip over the oysters.
Yep.
Just so I could be one of the cool guys. But now I'm full on into it, and I'll be missing that a little bit this year.
I'm not sure that I would miss
That
that.
does
I'll bring
sound
some
good.
by. I'll bring it by your non-Christmas celebrating office.
Yeah,
Those
right?
friggin' jerks.
Yeah.
All right, did we? God, the big intro tonight. We
That
had
was
a lot of
great.
stuff
Yeah.
going on.
Thank you, Renee. Thank you very much.
All right, well,
Hecklers, let's get some more call-ins.
yeah, you know what? Just give us a call. It ain't hard. Renee will tell you.
Messages, calls, we'll take them all.
It's very
Emails, Facebook.
Do you know what just
posts.
occurred to me? And it's something that could stand to be corrected by the rest of our hecklers. Is now 3 of our 3 calls have been from fibs.
Yeah, that's disappointing, honestly.
Wow.
I mean, 3 great fibs.
All right, like 2.5 fibs.
Well, yeah.
I mean, I still consider Katie my favorite fib.
She's a transplant now, though,
Right.
so
So that's where like,
yeah.
that's that gray area.
but she, I think at heart.
She's got the roots down and that.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. But yeah. So I'm just gonna
Wisco
need just
hecklers.
anyone from Wisconsin.
We're gonna need
But
some
don't-
hecklers in Cheeseland to come up with some good
I thought
questions.
we had a pretty big fan up in Minnesota.
Eh? That's true. I've been
surprised that-
disappointed.
Surprised there's no calls coming from
It's
there.
a husband-wife duo.
Yeah.
That both apparently, well, they claim that they listen, but now I'm
Wow.
starting to question it. Now that you brought
They've
that up.
stopped commenting on things.
Yeah, maybe we pissed him off.
I don't know what we did.
It's probably Jake.
That's true.
I'm sorry. I'll skip more shows.
That's true. They've been freaking out because you've been here.
They're like, he hasn't missed one in like 5 weeks now.
Say, oh, it's
Why is he
longer than
back?
that.
It's been a while.
I know.
We're
I
already.
made you
Been
guys.
a while.
I made you guys a priority again.
Appreciate you. And it's tough around Christmas time, but we are going to do one next week. I
We
wasn't
are.
We're
sure.
gonna get one in.
We're going to squeak her in there. Beyond that, it's hard to tell. Maybe we'll just cancel it, but. Oh, shoot. Well, Tyler, what the heck?
All right, we are, as of tonight, 8 days from Christmas, and we've talked.
That's true. I just changed all the little Christmassy numbers.
I'm so excited.
We've talked a little bit of Christmas music already.
I love Christmas music. Dominic the Donkey by Lou Monte.
I want a hippopotamus.
All right, so you guys already answered my question.
There you go. All
Let's
right,
move
well, moving on.
Is there? Do you have like a song that you let the music play and you're like, nope, I gotta hear this one, or you're starting the day off, you gotta pick a specific song? Is there one song that just really sticks out to you for Christmas, or is there a singer or a group that like they're your go-to Christmas music?
Okay, well, to answer
That's a
that
two-part question.
yes, 2 parts.
Go ahead.
Part A, Dominic the Donkey is the best Christmas song of all. For those of you that have not heard it, I'll see if I can find it and stuff it at the end of this episode.
That, or we'll post it on the Facebook.
Let's
I'm sure
post
we
it.
can
We'll find it. So underrated. The problem is that I can't find the Lou Monte version on Apple Music, so that makes it tougher. My go-to Christmas music group is Straight No Chaser, for whom I bought a ticket to a virtual concert on Sunday for
Like this upcoming Sunday?
this upcoming Sunday for only Christmas tunes.
What time should we be here?
I believe it's at 6 p.m.
Nice.
Perfect.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be huge.
I love it.
Huge.
Well, my 2 would be. It's close, but I think I'm just a big fan of "I Want a Hippopotamus for Christmas." That song just every time I hear it, just especially like the little girl's voice, just kind of melts your heart a little bit and knows
that
it's around
reminds me of
Christmas
another
time.
thing. Keep going.
And so that's great. Followed but very closely by, and I know a lot of people aren't a big fan of Mariah Carey, but she's got a couple Christmas songs that are just like immaculate. They're just perfect. It's just angelic almost. But I think my group is Pentatonics. Big Pentatonics fan. They're on my list to go see. So when this COVID crap goes away,
Maybe.
I'm hooking up myself and my wife with a
thought
Pentatonics
you were gonna
Christmas
say maybe
concert.
The 3 of us. Just a couple of bros being guys, being
Well,
dudes,
that's-
watching.
How
some-
about they can go on a little date and we'll go?
Sure.
as a
You
little
guys
thing.
can go.
2/3 of what the heck?
Yeah.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
We'll record a live show.
Okay. That'll
I'm
work.
pretty sure we'll get kicked out for that, but
Probably.
we'll be like, no, we didn't want to record the music. We're just
We're just
Yeah,
we're
we're
just
doing
here.
our
This is
podcast
a
right now.
podcast.
Yeah, you're fine. See, so the second question was actually easier for me because I think I'd also go Pentatonics as well. Those Straight No Chasers really climbing
Yeah.
up there. Like I think I have every Christmas song that Spotify has by them on my
Oh,
list,
so
so
great.
they're constantly playing.
I really carried the flag for Straight No Chaser.
And I've known of them and I've listened to some of their stuff, but it's never been like I've never gone out of my way to be like, all right, I'm gonna listen to this whole album, but everything is just amazing.
So good.
So I'd say for sure Pentatonics, Straight No Chasers up there. The song I think is always hard for me because it depends like what kind of mood I'm in.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of the times, like if I'm starting music, especially at school, I'll usually start with the classic Mariah Carey, "All I Want for Christmas Is You."
Oh, sure.
Yep.
Get it upbeat.
And
But
then
I'm
immediately
a huge,
slam it down into reverse.
yes.
Play real sad stuff.
Like Silent Night or something very slow
No,
and
worse.
methodical.
I also really like "Mary Did You Know,"
Oh, that's
yeah.
a great one.
and there's not even a specific version of that song.
Everyone
that I
who's
like.
sang it is pretty damn
I
good.
love all the versions.
Carrie Underwood just came out with one.
Yep.
That was
Yeah.
dynamite.
Like I've not heard a
Cried a
version
little bit.
where I don't
Wow.
Touching.
want to listen to it.
Yeah, totally agree.
So I have probably 12 or 13 of those versions on my play. Like
He has a Mary
sometimes
Did You
they
Know
play-
playlist.
No, it's
just
all,
one playlist of Mary Did You Know songs.
That's probably a thing. I could probably find one.
You should.
And I'd be totally okay with it. So
I dig that.
Yeah.
My other thought that I had was like the song that really just kicks me in the balls is Christmas Shoes.
ugh,
Oh yeah,
That's horrible. But so good, but horrible.
yeah.
great song, but yeah.
And then last year, or maybe the year before, working on the lake, listening to like Christmas music on the radio, whatever station, 107.3, I discovered a song called "Bring Him Home, Santa."
Yep, I've heard
Oh
that
my
one.
God! Equally nut kicking.
Yes, it was.
It's a little girl singing about Like all she wants for Christmas is her soldier dad to come home.
Yep.
Yes, I have heard. You don't hear that one very
No.
often.
No, because it makes me be dead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's that really to bring it down.
But I think Tyler's right. It depends the mood you're in for
Yes.
each of those songs.
Right.
Because I'm not gonna lie, sometimes I just skip one of them. Like,
Yeah, I'm not into
Right
it.
now,
I can't get to it.
yeah.
Like it's gonna get me in a wrong spot.
Right.
You know.
Sometimes I skip it just because I'm like, all right, this is annoying right now. But sometimes I'm
Right.
like, whew, just gets you.
Yeah, you can play it. You can just keep going back and listening to a song,
Yep.
and then like 2 days later, it'll come and be like, yeah, I'm good. And because I don't know,
Yep.
but that's Christmas music. That's what it is.
The other one goofy song that I always think about, and it came up on a family vacation one time. I like couldn't remember anything about it, but it was like something about a liquor store, and we drank a toast to innocence and drank a toast to life or love or whatever. I couldn't remember anything, and we pieced it together enough that we found it, and it's called, I think, Same Old Lang Syne. And
Nope, don't know it.
It's one of those songs that no one is like, everyone's like, what? No. But then if you hear it, you're like, oh yeah, I've heard this song on the radio
Okay.
before. It ends with like the snow turns into rain. It's real depressing. These people meet up at a store and then they start reminiscing on all the good old days, and then life still sucks.
You are bringing up a lot of sad songs.
It's kind of Christmas Debbie Downer
going
over
on
there.
over
Hey,
here?
I'm just saying they're out there.
We'll have to listen to that one sometime.
Man, let's move on to some brighter notes.
Keep her moving.
Cheer me back up, all right?
All right, I'm back in. The North Pole.
Yeah. Love it.
I'm into it. I always like to think about this. I'd like to preface this with, I don't want to get any kind of negative feedback because in my household, if you don't believe, you don't receive. So with Christmas right around the corner, I don't want to get any shit
Oh,
from those people with bad attitudes.
for sure.
What's your favorite version of the North Pole? You know, it's always a little different in movies and shows and...
I have one favorite version, and it goes along with your "If you don't believe, you don't receive," the Polar Express.
Yeah.
With the
I hadn't even
animated
considered
one
that. That's so good.
yeah, just the whole story, like the little kid, and can't really afford much, and then he's tripped up
Christmas
there,
shoes.
and the bell in his pocket, like.
Yep.
So my kids and I watched that at church a couple years ago. So then we give bells. We give
You watched
bells.
it at church?
Yeah, in the
The whole
basement.
thing?
The basement of our church, they showed the Polar Express.
Oh, I
It was-
thought maybe it was like, all right, you're here
was
for
a church
Sunday
service.
Sunday
No,
service.
it was like
Turn
a
off
s-
the lights. We're watching a movie for 2 hours.
No, it was like a Saturday
I need to go
evening
to that
deal.
church.
Yeah, I'm in.
It was. But
Next
it was-
week we're watching Gremlins.
we have a great church. It's pretty moderate, No, but just that whole movie, it might be one of my all-time favorite Christmas movies ever, and that
Good.
I think that North Pole is pretty efficient the way they got everything set up and how it works. So that's my vote.
I haven't seen that movie in a long
I
time.
have not either.
Movie night.
Probably because I saw it the first time when I was a kid. I always like the first scene in the Santa Claus where he's up north, or
Yep.
where he's at the North Pole. Because I think honestly because of the nostalgia of the first time seeing it, you're like,
Yeah.
oh, that's
Is-
actually
is
what it
that
looks like.
it?
Is
Is
that
this
what
the
it
real
is?
footage?
Yeah.
And even now knowing it's probably not what it actually is, but I like to think that's what it is, and that's for sure my favorite. And there's not now you see the second one, and they kind of keep it similar from the little bit that you see in both. So yeah, I think my favorite. I'm going Santa Claus.
That was kind of my thought as well. I gave a little bit of thought to the original Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was another pretty good one, though not as detailed. And I like the Santa Claus. I liked because they did some things that made it feel like it was kind of modern and techy.
Yeah.
Like the idea of there being some modern amenities and technology up there. I think as a kid makes you feel like it's a little bit more real, that there's that kind of stuff going on. So I also am going to go with the Santa Claus.
Good choices. Good choices.
Like when she has the little there's just so many good scenes, and I can't ever keep straight like which movie it is, but the big room where they're making the toys and where I like the like R&D department where they like testing stuff out, like the flame retardant suit.
I have always wanted to try the hot cocoa.
Yeah, same.
Because it comes out like thick, like in the sleigh with Charlie. He's like, yeah, the cookie cocoa dispenser. Like it comes out so thick.
I'd like a cookie cocoa dispenser in my truck.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
How is that not a thing? Well, it probably would cause a lot of accidents, but how is that not a thing?
That's why it's not in vehicles.
Well, I'm going to put it in one. Just mine.
My next question is, you are Santa, all right? You're the big man running the show.
I pushed him off a roof to get there.
He pushed him off a
Did I
roof.
commit murder?
There's been a murder. What's it look like to you? How are you going to keep things running up there? Do you need a big city? Do you need, like, a place? Can you run it out of a house? Need, like, a factory? I'd like to know about your infrastructure. How are you going to lay out the North Pole if you had to start from scratch?
Start from scratch.
See, well, I'll take that. I'll take a stab. I don't think you need a big city, but I also don't think you can run it out of a house. I think, I'd bring some modern technology into it, efficiencies, but you also got to rely on a little Christmas magic
That's for sure.
to go along with it. So I don't think you need a huge, big warehouse and a big city because some Christmas magic comes into play, but there's some technologies that you want to take advantage of, efficiencies and, keeping the process going.
Yeah, I think that the workshop would need to be, I don't know. Does it need to be huge?
No.
When it gets too big and technical, that's when Evil Santa starts printing out the giant guard guys.
Yep.
That's true. I think it would be... So a lot of the North Poles, I think, from a lot of Christmas films, like the toy room, like that's where everything is made.
Yep.
And I think I would go a little bit different and put like, I would kind of group things together. Like some of the techie stuff would be like in one building.
I like
and some of,
that.
like the old school
Put them in
stuff
sectors.
would be in one, and like the sports stuff would be in one, and just kind of spread it out a
That's
little
a
bit
great
more.
idea.
Just because then it's not like
It's efficient.
so
I like that.
hectic. But then also along with that,
Did you guys get that?
yeah, I did that on purpose. You don't want. Personally, I wouldn't want the same elves doing the same thing all the time.
Right, that could get
You want
boring.
the masters
Specialties.
of everything.
Specialties.
So you kind of. I mean, they're.
Wait, you'd
No.
rotate
wants
them
to
around?
move
I'd
around.
rotate them.
Not me.
I
If
would-
you're an expert maker of the Etch-a-Sketch, I need you making Etch-a-Sketches because you're
But-
the expert.
They're elves. To me, they're experts at all of it. That's why they're there.
Maybe.
I
Maybe
just
they're
don't.
only experts.
And maybe this is
Hey,
this
Elf,
is probably
Elf
the,
couldn't make
the
Etch-a-Sketches.
well, he wasn't an elf.
Hey, I'm going to need you to pick up Buddy's slack. He's really killing us on the extra sketches.
I'm looking, I guess, at more of a morale thing. I feel like it would be very monotonous to just continuously do the same thing. And maybe
Isn't
they're
that
not
what we
going
do
from,
every day in our lives?
Maybe they're not. Well, they're probably not going from like sports to tech, but like within their own area.
So within their own sector of
Yeah,
tech,
like
they make all sorts of
they're-
tech.
Yeah, they're in their area.
I could
but
handle
they can
that.
do everything.
I wouldn't. You're right. I wouldn't want the sports elves making sports toys going over to make Barbie dolls and dream
Right.
houses. Like,
They can collaborate and give some ideas to each other.
sure, if
but,
Barbie wants to be
but the
sporty.
experts are going to stay there. But
Sporty
I don't
Barbie.
want like the same elf is not going to just put together a teddy
see
bear
that.
for 800 years. I feel like at
Yeah,
some
that's
point they're
true.
just going to
Yeah.
get crazy
That's true.
mad.
But that's
and-
where the Christmas magic and the spirit of Christmas saves them.
yeah.
I
don't
think
know.
that it would help also if they had a little bit different uniforms. Like, oh, there's old Jerome from the sports department.
Yeah.
You can tell because he's got numbers on his elf coat.
They got like the Buffalo Wild Wings shirts.
Yes, that's what I picture.
names on the back.
Yes.
That is, yeah.
Now, what happens? I understand that elves get to be old,
Papa Elf, yeah, he got old.
but look, at some point, there's got to be some turnover, right? What does human resources look like at the North Pole, LLC? I think I don't know about elf reproduction.
I guess I don't have enough
Yeah, I
of a
don't know there
background
either.
in-
And it feels a
How
little
that
bit
works.
like, I don't know. It just feels wrong to me to be like, all right, buddy,
I need
I
you
need
to
you to-
pop 3 out
you
here.
need to pick someone from within this company and reproduce so that your kids then also need to work for this company.
Yeah.
What if they grow up and want to be the kind of elf that makes cookies?
Or a dentist.
Or a
Right? What if
dentist.
they want to be?
What if you're
No.
a dentist?
Here's the other thing: we don't want like a super big city, but how many elves do we have working for us, and where are they going to stay?
That's
This
what I'm
is
thinking. Where are
where
they going to stay? Where are they going to
The
grocery
magic
shop?
of Christmas comes into play, guys.
Oh, that's it. There's nothing.
Yeah, the magic. Yeah, I can't elaborate on that because
I
it's
thi-
the magic of Christmas that helps to tie it all
They
together.
just work.
They
Yeah.
just work.
24/7,
It's just
365.
slavery.
No,
They
they
know
get
nothing
they get the
else.
day after Christmas off.
They probably get
But
most.
where are they going to go if there's nothing to? They're
Just chilling.
They don't
They're-
have a home.
they're just chilling.
going to sleep in their office. Sleep in their
They got
chair.
we got homes.
They
They
just
got
they just shut down the
units for them to live in.
See, that's what I mean. That sounds horrible. Can you imagine a company now where it's like,
I didn't know
okay,
this was
punch
a
out, but you
military
can't go
base.
home. Just go up to your
No,
closet.
you can't see your family.
But they all are family.
Well, so then that's an inbreeding
See,
problem,
right?
and then people are going to
And
have
I've seen
extra
this happen
ears
in
and
Family
shit.
Guy. Okay, doesn't end well.
I don't know, man. Logistically, I just would like to know
This is
what's their recruiting process like? You know, how are they going to?
You're overthinking
Do
it.
they bring elves from around the world? Do they have to be a North Pole elf?
That's true. Can you?
You can
I
be,
know that South Pole elves are a little bit hard on morale.
True. Maybe they work with the reindeer.
That could be. I'd also be curious to see like the reindeer facilities.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that would hit. I picture that.
be a high quality barn.
I picture that kind of operating like the Budweiser Clydesdales,
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
where you've got like the main group, right? Don, Blitzy. We know all the real ones, right?
Rudolph.
Rudolph's retired.
Rudy,
He's just hanging
he's
out.
just he's like kind of the elder statesman.
Yeah.
Actually, that's not true. All the other deer were well cemented in place before him. He was just a little whippersnapper.
Yeah.
But I think that like the main group, you know, have the fancy like almost like museum kind of show barn that you can be like, ooh, check out our cool reindeer. And then the rest of them probably live on a big farm out in the country, you know, where they've got more room and some nice rolling acreage.
Training facilities.
Training
yeah.
facilities, so you can really get
Yep.
them into shape. Some like some designated space for reindeer games probably as well.
Yep.
I think that that's important. Also, some really good curriculum on not bullying the hell out of each other.
Yeah.
Because
No
we've
matter
seen
how
that
they
before.
look.
Yep.
I think that that's important. But then, you know, what happens if, you know, the Don has a bum ankle today? You know, he's getting old.
I picture they have a depth chart, kind of like a football team.
Well,
Starters, and then they got who's number 2,
Chaz,
who's
you
number
remember
3.
Chaz
Yeah,
from one
Chaz.
of the Santa Claus
He's
movies?
the second one? I think it's the second one.
And then there's that other movie, Olive, the other reindeer.
Yep.
I think it's important to have some of those
Yeah.
second stringers.
Along with that, does Santa, do you think he ever goes back and changes them out? Kind of like a NASCAR race. You go to the pit, get some new tires. Do you think he has
That's
to do
true. So maybe he has to have little reindeer farms throughout the world.
Right.
He's like, oh, when I hit New Zealand, I gotta swap these suckers out
Right,
for
so
a fresh set.
I mean, do we just know the main ones because there are main ones and there are
That's
other
true.
places around
They
the world
shoot
that know
down
their
from
own
the
main
North
ones?
Pole, and then once they get through Wisconsin, well, they pass through probably, and then when they hit the wall before they cross into Mexico, there's probably like a South Texas reindeer
Reindeer
farm.
farm.
Yep.
See, I think that's something that maybe
That
we would,
is, I hadn't even considered
of.
spreading them out.
So
I
you would
didn't
need
until he brought
multiple
up the
reindeer
depth chart.
farms.
Oh yeah, all over the world.
Yeah. Probably one per continent
So then you have to spread elves around
to
Right.
care for those
to
reindeer.
care for the
and
reindeer.
that's when do you
Swap them out.
and then see, but then the question becomes, what is the North Pole? Because
It's like the home base.
That's home. That's the international
It's the hub.
headquarters.
It's the hub.
But do you have at these other reindeer farms? Do you have other things with them?
No.
Like, is
Oh,
it,
that's
is it
true.
just a farm?
It's just a farm.
So Area 51, is that what we're thinking? Because that's what I'm thinking. Is that?
Yeah, nobody can know where they're at. They got to be secret.
All right, makes sense.
That's yeah. I see what you're thinking, and that's like GM having a plant in Mexico that builds the Chevy Cruze.
It would just be like a reindeer.
I think it's just reindeer
farm.
location.
Yep.
Particularly for the welfare of the animals.
Right.
I'd totally be down to work on a
Like
magic
they would
reindeer farm.
out of season, they'd all come to the North Pole.
Yes,
but
I think that
probably
they load them
about
up.
Thanksgiving, they'd all get sent to their own spots, get used to the climate, and
Maybe
everything.
even Halloween.
Yeah,
Give
probably.
'em almost a 2-month turnaround.
But then they get off. I know that the elves have to continue working to make toys throughout the year, because that's a lot of stuff to make. But the reindeer probably get to hang out. I'm sure that they've got kind of the regimented workouts and nutrition program.
need some time for socialization and reproduction.
Yep, and a little
keep the
rehab, work through those soft tissue injuries.
Yep.
Pull a hammy, probably pulling a sleigh around.
There's got to be backups.
There's backups for sure.
Has to be.
Mm-hmm.
And my last question about the North Pole is who's funding this operation? Do parents? I'm not a parent, so I don't know. Do parents have to pay in?
Yeah, it's part of a parental membership.
It's almost like a tax.
Like when your kids are born, it's just assumed you become part of this club, and you pay.
So like on your first child's day of birth, you're sent a contract.
Yeah, pretty much.
Here's your payment.
It's like in every year on June 30th, your payments due to make sure that you keep Christmas funded for everybody.
And I'm sure parents aren't all paying on the same day. Like June
No,
30th
no.
isn't.
That's when my bill
100%
comes.
parents of the
Sure.
world.
No,
You
that
spread it
makes
out
sense,
so that you
right.
can keep funding the elves and the reindeer training.
Throughout the
and,
year, you've got that
Yeah.
overhead. But that actually makes a lot of sense. I was wondering,
of course.
how are we funding?
And
this
donations,
operation?
heavily donated too,
Sure, and that's
from around the world.
That's what I initially thought was well, maybe it's just a non-profit and people dump lots of money into it. But then I'm like, well, it seems like there's going to be more expenses than that.
Yeah. The donations don't cover it all. So parents of homes that Santa is visiting make sure that they pay their bill or he skips them.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And it might kind of explain why parents in every single Christmas movie with Santa somehow don't believe in Santa, but here are all these gifts
That's true.
every Christmas morning.
Right?
And they're like,
They just, maybe it's
damn
part
it.
of the
Damn it,
magic.
I gotta
They
pay
pay
that
their
bill
bill
again.
and they forgot about
my
it.
rate went up $10 a month this year.
Second kid, damn it.
That is interesting. I always wondered, like I said, not a parent yet, so I haven't had to experience it, but it's nice to be able to prepare for that.
Yeah, you can budget for that item.
Unless, as we discussed tonight, I just don't have kids so that I don't have to risk having girls.
It's a great way to save some money.
That's true.
Well, not if you spend it on dogs.
Well, yeah, that's true. You just don't have to. You're paying someone else at some other
Yeah.
farm.
That's right. And I don't have to put into the Santa Claus Incorporated. All right. Wow, we're doing nice on time for having so much stuff to talk about.
I see there's a lot of points that we skipped over, and this could honestly
shit,
go
there
on
is
for
a good
hours.
one. It could go on for hours.
But
Should we
there's
touch-
one that I think that you should.
This one?
Yes.
Okay. One last North Pole point. Should visitors be allowed?
First, as Santa, what
You're Santa?
is, but in this situation, right?
Oh,
Shh, don't tell everybody.
holy
what?
smokes.
What constitutes a visitor? Does my family know that I'm Santa, and have they been there? Are they a visitor, or because
Santa's
they're related?
family lives there with him.
And
Well,
apparently the elves' families are required to live there,
Yeah.
and they can't see any part of the world because their life sucks and they
Unless-
are like slavery.
well, they can go out on the day after Christmas.
They have off season. They
One
work
day a
in
year.
shifts. You get 2 weeks vacation
I just
time.
mean
Can you imagine being like at the Grand Canyon and seeing a family of elves roll up? Just enjoying
They're
our time
not
off.
in May.
elves. They're little people.
That's true, so we can't say anything. So
Right.
we have seen it.
Peter Dinklage.
Wow.
Right?
Oh, wow.
So my question is only yes, my family, but like parents, I'm talking like extended family. Are they family that can go there
I
and
kinda
not as
dig-
visitors, or are we
I
talking
kind
like
of-
could I bring you guys up as Santa?
I kind of dig the little deal where you just drug everyone and then tell them it's Canada.
That's okay. That was going to be my next thing: is do they get to know where you actually are, or are you lying to them while you're still also looking like Santa and acting like Santa?
And suddenly there's a
and-
bunch of elves.
and all of a sudden
You have a big white beard.
Man,
everyone
everyone
in
in
Canada is
Canada's-
about 2 foot shorter than you.
Canada's so short.
I personally think it depends on the Santa.
I'm going with the seasonal visitation. Kind of like a major league
Are you
ballpark.
talking like tourism?
Yep.
Like I can fly up there and check out the North Pole.
Yep. You can go tour Miller Park, but not during baseball games. So, you know what? When it's crunch time, like, you know, the last quarter of the year leading up to Christmas, it's off limits because it's strictly business at that point. But you know what? Like April, yeah, sure.
Like
we'll
they're
have a
still
couple
making
tours.
toys. It would be
They're
like
making
touring-
toys, but like a brewery tour.
I was
you know,
just gonna
going
say.
through and hey, they're making some toys over there. That's pretty cool. We can go to the sports department and maybe check out
I
walk
guess
through the
that's
tech
another
field and
way of making some
Making
money.
some income.
Yep.
Is charging admission.
yep.
See, and my initial thought was like, no, you can't have families up there because that'll ruin it. But it won't. I think it
It would
enhances it.
increase
Right.
Christmas spirit.
Because you're like,
'Cause
holy
then
shit.
They can't deny that it's there.
Yeah.
I hope that they open the North Pole to tourism. I would be very
I'm
interested.
putting
to get
that
up
in my
there.
letter to Santa next year.
That's actually a good idea.
I'm gonna
When
tell
maybe
them
when
that
you have your shareholders meeting.
I could do that. Yeah. Although you got a request to ask a question, there's only
Sure,
limited
it's like
questions.
one big giant
yeah.
Zoom meeting.
So
Yeah.
it's not. Is it like the bear tag points? You got to maybe put in
Yeah.
a couple years before.
Yeah,
you
you
get
got
it?
to have a certain amount of
makes
dues
sense.
payments in before they let you ask questions. So I don't think I'm there yet, but when I do, that's gonna be my question.
That really would hype up the Christmas spirit.
Yeah, it would.
Like an elf, that the more Christmas spirit on that jet engine on the sleigh,
That's
that
true.
sucker would run forever.
It's a damn shame that the reindeer can't do it on their own anymore.
Yeah,
It's
it
just
is.
getting old.
But that's why he's got the farms.
That's why it's got the farms. They're
Yep.
up and coming.
Retraining the whole herd.
Wow. Tourism at the North Pole sounds lit.
I'm excited.
I'm kind of into it. Right
Family
now.
vacation.
As well.
That'd
That'd be a great
be
family
unbelievable.
vacation. Everyone would go there. It'd be better than Disney World.
It'd be the best thing in the entire universe.
For sure. I don't know what kid wouldn't put on their list
Or adult.
for next year.
I'd put that
Right.
sucker on there.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're someone's kid still.
That I am a kid.
That's true.
I'm a kid at heart.
I could see Daryl and Beth putting that. You know, Colin, look what we got you and Katie for Christmas this year.
Going to the North Pole.
Next April, you guys got a 10-day visit.
Reindeer sleigh rides, you know?
It would be awesome.
If you see, I was thinking maybe a theme park, but that's going to be industrializing
No.
it too much. I
Yeah,
think that
yes.
eliminates
Too
like
far.
the charm of
You
it.
got to keep it real.
But if that's what happened, definitely South Pole elves as the carnies.
Carnies for
Carnies.
sure. It'd be like doing math.
Oh man,
All right, gentlemen.
game time.
I slaved over this for like an hour after work today.
Wow,
Whoa.
dedication.
Christmas movie Jeopardy. In honor of, you know,
The late great Alex Trebek.
yes. So here I have
Oh, this is not how I thought it was going to
Me
be. set
neither.
up.
5 movies are the categories. That being A Christmas Story, Elf, The Santa Claus, How the Grinch Stole Christmas of 2000 with Jim Carrey,
Oh yeah.
and National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Just saw that the other night. It's been on TV like every night for the last 2 weeks.
I know. It's Christmas time, man. So, yeah, just some little trivia action.
Awesome.
Wow. I definitely thought the categories would be like not the movie, but the answers would be the movies that fit into that category.
Yeah,
And
that's
I'm
what
like,
I thought too.
I don't know if I know that.
That's
many
what I'm like,
Christmas
God, there's a
movies.
lot of-
That's 25 Christmas movies.
No,
Yeah.
we're just getting into
Like
it.
I know there are that many, but
So, I don't care who goes first.
Jake, you can go first.
All right, I'll go first. Let's go with National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation for 100.
The most notable problem that Eddie's family faced while staying in the RV.
Beep.
Yes?
What is the shitters full?
That's correct.
That is probably the worst thing that could happen in your RV, too, I can imagine. Let's keep rolling National Lampoons for 200.
This gift is wrapped up and brought
Beep.
by Aunt Bethany. Yes?
What is Jell-O?
Incorrect.
Beep beep.
Yes.
Her cat.
Oh, dang it. She did both, though. Didn't she
That's
bring
true.
a
She
Jell-O
did.
She
mold
did bring a
inside the
Jell-O,
package that was
yeah.
leaking?
Yes.
This one's leaking. Yeah, let's stick National Lampoon's 300.
The gift received by Clark in place of a monetary bonus.
What is the Jam of the Month Club?
I'll accept it. Jelly of
Jelly jam.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving. Oh, I'm watching that tonight.
Oh, it's good. It's good.
National Lampoons for 4.
The gift that Clark not so eloquently asks for and eventually is given by Cousin Eddie.
Beep beep.
Yes.
Do we need to know the?
Nope.
Okay. His boss. Who is his boss?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Let's stick it for 500.
The location of the switch that controls Clark's light display, of which he is somehow unaware.
Is in the garage.
That's correct.
Somehow unaware.
Let's go over to A Christmas Story for 100.
The main character of the film. Yes.
Ralphie. Who is Ralphie?
That's correct.
I don't know if I ever remember their last name.
I don't
I
either.
don't either.
Ralphie.
But we watch that every Christmas Eve.
I know.
Yep.
It's classic.
TNT. 24 hours.
Yeah.
I've only ever made it into the third one.
Wow, that's a lot.
I know. Well, I don't really always watch it. It's just on in the background.
Sure.
200.
The only gift on Ralphie's Christmas list. Yes.
Oh, Red Ryder BB gun.
That's correct.
What is Red Ryder BB gun? Do they make those? I kind of want one.
They do.
Yeah.
Just saw one the other day. Almost bought it.
300.
The reason Ralphie's mother won't let him
Beep.
have one. Yes?
You'll shoot your eye out.
That's
the reason
correct.
No one will let him have a BB gun.
Right?
True.
400.
This major award is given.
Got one for my birthday, the leg lamp.
That's correct.
It must be Italian.
Fred Sheila.
It's a major award.
500.
The action that causes Ralphie to say, "Oh, fudge."
Beep.
Yes.
He drops the bolts or the nuts to the wheel on the car.
Yeah.
That is correct.
Lug nuts, yeah. I had to think about that one.
Yeah.
At first, I thought it was when he shot his eye out.
I
but
thought it was when he
that's-
stepped on his
he's-
glasses, yeah. But
Oh, yeah.
then, no, you're right. It's
Let's move on to Elf for 100.
This is the greeting used by Buddy when answering the telephone.
Beep.
Yes.
Buddy the Elf, what's your favorite color? I don't know if I'm using the same sound, but
It's all right.
Elf for 200.
Oh,
Already got that one.
it's all right. Missed. The song to which Buddy and Jovi sing a duet in a mall shower that I didn't realize existed.
Beep.
Yes.
Baby, it's cold outside.
Truth.
300.
This is the best way to
Beep.
spread Christmas cheer.
by singing loud for all to hear.
Correct. This might be the best game I've made.
Yeah, this is pretty good. 4 bills.
The name of the story at which Buddy somehow works, or the store, sorry, typo, at which Buddy somehow works without filling out any employment or tax paperwork.
Beep.
Yes.
Is it Gimbals?
That's correct.
500.
These are the 4 major food groups of elves.
shit.
I know the last 3.
I can think of 2. No, can't get all
Can't think of the
4.
first one that he says. I have the rest of them.
You want to try it? Or are you just going to let it roll?
I can't get the last one
Yeah,
either.
I can't think of it.
Candy? Candy canes?
Oh, it's just
candy corn?
candy.
And syrup.
So then I did have it.
Pete's sake.
The Santa Claus 100.
This is also by far the most even of a game that we've had so far.
Yes, this is quite close.
This event causes Santa's death and evaporation.
Beep.
Yes.
He falls off the roof. Correct. What is falling off the roof?
Not gonna lie, I'm pretty weak in the Santa Claus, so
Uh-oh.
this could be my
200.
downfall.
As long as you got a strong
Alright.
grip on the Grinch. The name of the main character, which conveniently allows the elves to not have to re-embroider Santa's PJs.
Beep.
Yes.
Scott. Who is Scott Calvin? 300.
The drink served to Scott when he first arrives at the North Pole.
Beep. What is hot chocolate?
That's correct.
Hot cocoa.
My bad.
It is cocoa, technically, I suppose.
400.
The name of the oldest, tallest elf that seems to play the biggest role out of the elves and also swings his arms too much while walking.
Beep.
Yes.
Who is Bernard? 500.
The type of company that Scott works for before being reassigned to Santa duties.
Beep.
Yes.
Toy company.
That's correct.
All right. How the Grinch Stole Christmas for 100.
Jim Carrey edition. The name of the town that the Green Man terrorizes.
Beep.
I had to take
What
a breath
is
to say
Whoville?
it.
That's correct.
Son of a...
The name of the Grinch's dog that has the most impressive towing capacity out of any tiny dog in history.
Beep.
Yes.
Max.
Correct. The original size of the Grinch's heart.
Beep.
Yes.
What is 2 sizes too small?
That is correct.
Nice. 400.
The main dish of the meal the Who's were planning.
Beep.
Yes.
Roast beast.
That is correct.
Wow, impressive.
I watch a lot of Christmas movies.
The thing in which Whoville is located.
Beep. What is a snowflake?
Correct. Very impressive.
That is
showing.
impressive.
That is
Wow.
my
Pulled
favorite.
away those last
Tyler
two.
did pull away. The
Santa Claus and the Grinch for my downfall.
Yeah,
I
I'm
need to
glad
go
those
home and
came
watch them
last.
tonight.
Tyler got the big dub, 4,600 to 2,400.
You had to say this is as close as game we've had in a long time,
know,
and then
I
it blew
kinda
me out of the
jinxed
water.
Wow. I just love Christmas the most.
What a game.
I can honestly say, of those 5 movies, The Santa Claus is probably the least watched movie in our house.
I love the Santa Claus.
Obviously, National Lampoon's and The Christmas Story, like
those are
those
good.
are like 2 front runners.
Elf is probably my front runner.
Do you
Elf
guys
is
watch
right up there.
A Christmas Story before Christmas Eve?
Typically, no. So we go to Christmas. We started this tradition like in just my family, Kim and I and the kids. You know, the kids have been a part of Christmas Eve Mass since they were little, whether it's singing or Carter's doing a reading this year, and he's done a reading before. So we go to Christmas Eve Mass at, I think it's 4 o'clock, and then we come back, and Kim always gives the kids Christmas jammies. So they get to open those Christmas jammies up, and they change into their Christmas jammies. And she makes some, just some appetizery. We don't really have a dinner, but it's like pigs in a blanket and, some fun stuff. And then we watch Christmas Story.
Nice.
Christmas Eve, and then ready for bed and get ready for Santa.
That's funny. So we also wait until Christmas Eve.
Nice.
Me and my parents, and then my sister and brother-in-law if they're down, and then my mom's parents go to. There is a farm that runs like a reenactment kind of that night, and you sing
Of
and go
the
through
real
story.
Christmas story,
Right.
not a Christmas
And
story.
they actually,
Got it.
They
It's
have
not like a kid on a farm with a BB gun.
Like,
No,
sweet.
no.
Do they yell, you'll shoot your eye out, too?
No, they have like couples that are having babies like sign up to be like the nativity scene while this is going on.
Do they have their babies live?
Yes.
No, the
Yes,
baby's
there's
already
a doctor
born.
there.
That's awesome.
The baby's already born.
Oh, okay.
But
I
it's
had my
like
baby in the
they just
barn in
act it all out.
Burlington.
So, not actually in Burlington. So that it's like a half hour. We do that. We go back. We fondue, play some games, and then
Sometimes we
7 o'clock rolls
fondant.
around, and Christmas Story comes on. My grandpa hates it. He's seen it enough. He never wants it on, and
I will never hate it and
put it on
see
all
it
the time.
500 million more times
Oh.
in my life, and I'm good.
Such a good movie.
I brought the leg lamp home from my office, and Kim made a special place right in the front window of our house, so it shines right in there.
Till
And
she accidentally knocks it
I
over.
told her, I said, you better be careful cleaning around this thing, because if you break it, I'm going to know we have a problem.
Just stay out of the room.
My family always... Uh-oh, hold on.
Bless you.
God bless you.
Got it. Covered it up
It was hurting me.
magically.
Growing up, we'd go to church, like, later in the evening. It was always, like, 7 or 8 o'clock. And then it started out, we opened, like, one of our presents from each other. Because we always had, like, the presents, you know, for mom and dad and each other. And then, you know, Santa brought his presents overnight, obviously. So we started with just, like, oh, can we please open one present tonight? And it, like, progressed so that we opened all of our presents from each other Christmas Eve.
And just
And
relied
then
on Santa.
Christmas morning was just Santa, and then we went to my grandma's house and did the Frederick Christmas. That's pretty much all changed now that there's wives and kids and
Oh, imagine. Yeah.
there's a lot of things are really fluid at this point. Trav and Kale will be moving back, and we've got it's you know
You
it's
got to
a-
be
it's a whole
flexible
thing.
with
It's a whole
everybody's
thing.
schedule. Yeah.
Once we get it like settled in and honed in, and like this is
Wait
our
till
new
the kids
routine.
get older. It'll be worse. Because
When
in
your
our
daughters
family
are
now,
around.
Sorry, do you say dogs?
Yeah, sorry.
you know, we
I
got
coughed in the middle of that.
we got I got a nephew in college. I got a couple nephews in high school. I got a nephew who's 4. So we're all over the board. So it's like, this weekend work for everybody? No, wrestling tournament. This weekend? Oh, no, hockey game. This weekend? No, I can't make it. I got to do the other family Christmas. So this year, obviously, COVID plays a role in it too. But every year, it's like, okay, first check the wrestling schedule to see when there's tournaments and when you can make it happen.
Yep, build around the wrestling
Yep.
schedule.
And then
Been
it's
there.
like, check the hockey schedule because I got a nephew playing hockey now. And it's like, okay. It's
It's a thing.
it's usually a Sunday afternoon deal at, you know, somebody's house where
Mm-hmm.
we just get together and have some snacky foods, open some presents, and call it a day. So
Man, well, this was good.
I can't
feeling,
wait.
I'm feeling very Christmassy tonight.
I am as well.
That was good, and we're gonna feel even more Christmassy next week. Maybe we'll spend the whole episode caroling.
I'm gonna dress up.
Let's dress up and carol. Ugly Christmas sweater episode.
I was just gonna wear a Christmas tie.
No, Christmas sweater.
You can, but
Oh.
over an ugly Christmas
Yeah,
sweater.
I
under a
don't think I
Christmas
have any ugly Christmas
You're
sweaters.
gonna need one. Otherwise, I have extras that you can borrow.
Perfect.
Then we'll take a photo and we'll put it on the Facebook.
Yes.
It'll be lit AF.
We could send out Christmas cards.
We are a little.
What the heck, Christmas
behind.
cards?
We can send out
Well,
New Year's cards. At
We
this
would
point.
also need addresses in mind. We've got
We just-
addresses of most of them.
Mail
Yeah,
them.
we can find most
Stick
of
them in the
random
post
people.
office and put people's names on them.
I don't care where you send it, just drop it off.
We are a little bit behind on our Christmas cards. They're supposed to be here like, I don't know, tomorrow or something. So you might get it like one day before Christmas and then throw it away. So sorry, everyone. All right. Well, next week's going to be more Christmassy than you can even imagine.
And I don't know how we can get
Yeah.
more Christmassy.
This was Christmassy. Last week was a little Christmassy. A lot Christmassy. This one felt more Christmassy
Yeah.
than
It
last
did,
week.
definitely.
I think because it's just closer. And
We're
next
getting
week,
closer. We're
Next
getting all
week,
excited.
within a few days, it'll be tremendously Christmassy.
We're singing next week. If anyone wants to come on the show next week and sing Christmas Carol,
Or if you'd like to sing a Christmas carol in a message,
as a message,
and
do
we'll
that.
play it live on the air.
I always say I'm going to post stuff on Facebook and then always forget. So remind me as soon as we get done with this to post the message link again.
Yes.
So then by the time you hear this, it'll have already been up for a few days.
Come on, hecklers, let's
Perfect.
hear your voices.
We want to hear you sing or speak. We're not picky.
Yeah,
at
either
this
way.
point.
either one. Either one. Either one's fine.
We just
Everyone's
want to
fine.
hear from you.
Yep. And if you think you make better Christmas cookies than Renee
Or better cake pops.
prove it. Prove it. Bet.
Not possible.
bet you don't.
Yeah, no, I guarantee you don't make better cake pops. Don't. Actually, no. Try.
Yeah, no, seriously.
Try
Yeah,
anyway,
Please
but
try.
Try anyway, but it won't happen.
All right, folks. Until next week, this is the jolliest bunch of assholes this side of the cuckoo's nest. For Jake Reese and Tyler Heck, I'm Colin Frederick. Remember that the best way to spread Christmas cheer is singing loud for all to hear. Let's get the heck out of here.